On the coldest Christmas Eve in memory, deep in the frozen north, the wind howled through the trees like a pack of wolves. Children lay nestled in their beds, dreaming of gifts wrapped in silver and gold. But far beyond the reach of twinkling lights and candy cane lanes, in the darkest part of the world, there was something else stirring. Not all Santas bring joy, some bring warnings, as legend has it. There was once a Santa long forgotten, one who did not jingle with laughter, but instead whispered with the wind, rattling through the night like dry bones. His name had been lost to time, but those who dared to remember him called him Hollow Claus. Hollow Claus did not climb down chimneys. He did not fill stockings with treats or leave presents under the tree. Instead, he came for the wicked, not just the naughty, no. Hollow Claus had no time for children who refused to eat their vegetables or forgot to make their beds. He was only interested in those who had done something truly wrong. On this particular Christmas Eve, little Tobias Hartford sat wide-eyed in his bedroom, his breath fogging up the frosty window pane. He had heard the stories, he had laughed them off, like most children do, but now something felt different. The night air was too still, the stars too sharp, and the distant sound of bells. It wasn't jolly, it was slow and hollow, like wind chimes made of bones. Tobias pulled his blanket tighter around him. But the chill in the air wasn't coming from outside. It was creeping in from under his bed, from the corners of his room, from the very floorboards beneath him. And then he heard it. Oh, oh, oh. A rasping, breathy whisper, not laughter, but something worse. It was the sound of air escaping from something that had been sealed too long, the sound of old things waking up. Tobias dared not move. His heart pounded, and then he saw it, a shadow, not cast by the moon, but something deeper, something that swallowed the light instead of making it. It stretched along his bedroom wall, long and thin, before growing rounder, thicker, until it took the unmistakable shape of a man in a Santa suit. But this was no jolly old Saint Nick. This Santa was gaunt, his beard brittle and wiry, his suit hanging loosely over his hollow frame. His fingers, long and spindly, curled like talons, and from beneath his tattered hat, black eyes gleamed like empty sockets. And then Tobias noticed his tie, a long silk tie covered in tiny, grinning skulls. The sight of it made his stomach turn, but before he could let out a sound, Hollow Claus spoke. "I have come for you, Tobias Hartford." The boy's blood ran cold. "Why?" he stammered, pressing himself against the wall. Hollow Claus stepped closer. The air in the room grew thick and heavy, like a winter fog creeping into his lungs. "You know why, Tobias did know. It was a secret he had kept hidden all year, locked away like a rusty box in the back of his mind. But Hollow Claus knew. Hollow Claus always knew. "You took the money, didn't you?" The voice was smooth now, but still dry, like old parchment. "Your mother's savings, a little here, a little there, but you knew it wasn't yours." Tobias's hands shook. I just wanted a new game. I was going to put it back. I swear." A grin curled across the skeletal Santa's face. "Ah, but you didn't." Tobias opened his mouth to protest, to plead, but he knew it was useless. The stories had warned him. Hollow Claus does not listen to apologies. Hollow Claus collects, with one bony hand. He reached into his tattered sack and pulled out a single lump of coal. But it was no ordinary coal. It throbbed like a living thing, pulsing, beating, like a second heart in hollow Claus's palm. "Take it," he whispered. Tobias didn't want to. Everything inside him screamed not to. But his fingers moved on their own, drawn to the horrible thing, like iron to a magnet. The moment he touched it, a shiver ran up his spine. The walls around him stretched, twisted. And then, darkness. The next morning, the Hartford family awoke to find Tobias in bed, pale and cold, his hands wrapped around a single lump of coal. His parents tried to wake him, but Tobias did not stir. His eyes remained open, staring, forever trapped in the moment he had seen the truth, that hollow Claus was real. And he was still out there, waiting for the next child who thought they could escape the price of their misdeeds. So remember, children, be good, or you might hear the whisper of hollow Claus on Christmas Eve. Oh, oh, oh.